IGN is trying to defend Highguard by forcing us to tolerate things we don't like. Even worse, they are once again blaming gamers for studio closures, claiming that voicing our dislike is somehow destroying the industry. Hi everyone, this is Alex. I'm not done dunking on Highguard just yet. Let's read the article and I'll give you my thoughts. The author calls the Highguard trailer a surprise. And honestly, he's right, nobody expected such a bland game to close out the Game Awards. The article claims this slot has typically been reserved for highly anticipated single-player games such as Naughty Dog's next project Intergalactic or the next Mass Effect. Both of these examples are debatable. Naughty Dog isn't exactly in its prime right now, and let's be real, a cinematic trailer of their new IP is just that, a cinematic. It's too early to draw any conclusions, especially since the community already has questions. The same goes for the Mass Effect, with Dragon Age the Veilguard being a complete failure and BioWare's total radio silence since who knows if a new Mass Effect even happened. The author calls out the community reaction. Type Highguard into YouTube and you'll be almost exclusively met with videos headlined something along the lines of "This game is cooked." I'm here to state what I thought would be obvious. We should actually play games before we definitively decide if they are good or bad. First of all, welcome to YouTube. Emotion is what makes people click the thumbnail, and understanding the video comes after. Secondly, sure, some people are just hating, but the majority are pointing out exactly where the trailer fails, just like I did in my last video. And thirdly, if we're supposed to play games before judging them, then games need to launch literally day one, right after the trailer drops. But modern marketing doesn't work like that. I understand not being into the look of a game, but among the gaming community it increasingly feels as if there's now almost an underlying need for new releases to be bad if they are not exactly what we want from one. Have people forgotten how to speak directly about things they don't like? I don't think there's anything wrong with expressing your views and emotions when a product is pitched to you. You either like it or you don't. The article goes, such willingness to dunk on a game for which we only have a single trailer and 10 screenshots displays a complete misunderstanding of a rising tide lifts all boats mentality when it comes to game development. More successful games are ultimately good for everyone, even if this specific one doesn't meet your personal tastes. We all want to enjoy games and get new experiences, but pulling that off with a generic shooter is incredibly hard. A rising tide lifts all boats, sure, but only if it's a tide of water, not garbage. In this specific case, the boats in the harbor didn't even budge. I won't call the game garbage, that's unfair, but the trailer was tasteless, it was emotionless. Then, ironically, the author starts to question the game themselves right after defending it. Of course, it isn't just the gameplay fueling this fire, but the relative lack of noise from developer Wildlight Entertainment following its reveal. More than a month later, this teaser remains the only video on the game's official YouTube channel, which is odd for a game that received such a priced reveal slot on gaming's biggest night of the year. And he continues, there is not even an explanation of how this new breed of PvP works, which is unhelpful considering raid shooter is not a commonly recognized genre. Highguard itself may well not be bad, but the marketing promoting it certainly could be accused of being subpar. This is marketing disaster. Developers must communicate with the community, not just when a game is a success and launching in a month, but especially if the game is facing this kind of backlash. The author then claims it may well struggle to find a substantial audience, but it's this immediate and complete writing off of a game that irks me somewhat, basically confirming that the game is likely to fail. No, writing off a product isn't the goal here. People have simply started to value their time more, and they are much more vocal about their dissatisfaction with the industry. And finally, the author displays a complete misunderstanding of the economic situation. I can't help but feel that many of the same people gleefully rubbing their hands together at what looks like another underwhelming game in their eyes will be the same bemoaning the fact that the games industry is in a difficult spot where layoffs and studio closures seemingly happen on a weekly basis, putting the creatives they admire out of work. If no one is attempting to make new experiences and at least try to deliver on the promise of a new breed of shooter, then we're in a grim place indeed. Look, they really tried. I'll give the studio credit, they really tried to show their vision, but that vision didn't sell the game. If the studio closes, the industry will watch, learn and move on, adapting to economic reality. Large publishers operate with massive sums of money. They cannot afford for a multi-million-dollar long-term project to fail. That's why they chase online trends. A shooter is the easiest option on paper, but it's the hardest genre to actually surprise and hook players in an oversaturated market. If they fail, the industry learns a lesson. That's the path of progress. It has always been this way. Thank you for watching till the end. Subscribe if you like this video and hit like button if you agree with me. And let me know in the comments what do you think about Sony's Marathon. See ya!